What's up guys, Kyle here again, and today we are checking out the Joyo DC15S Bluetooth battery powered portable practice amp. Let's do it. Alright guys, hope you're doing great out there today. If this is your first time here at my channel, my name is Kyle, and what I do is I take all sorts of awesome high gain related guitar equipment, I record it with a simple setup, and I give you the unprocessed audio on your end. So if you're into E-standard thrash riffs, drop C hardcore riffs, and dudes that constantly have grease stains on their t-shirt, you're in the right place. Consider hitting the like button and subscribing on the way out so you don't miss any more of my stuff. Thanks! Alright guys, so for today's video, which I do have to mention is actually the very first video in my new studio. Super exciting stuff. But yeah, as mentioned in the intro of this video, we are checking out the Joyo DC15S practice amplifier. Now, before you start throwing tomatoes and other random vegetables at the screen, I know what a lot of you guys are probably saying right now. Kyle, as somebody who generally demos high value, high gain tube amplifiers, why are you looking at a portable practice amp on your channel? And honestly, I have a number of good reasons for that. Number one, I believe that all gear, no matter how expensive or inexpensive, deserves a proper review video. Number two, I believe that gear that is aimed at beginner players actually deserves its own review video more than the expensive stuff, because generally new players have no idea what they're doing when it comes to spending their money on equipment, and to have proper review videos that not only show the sounds but show the features of something to make sure that they are spending their money wisely, whether it be for themselves or whether they are spending it and getting something like this for their kids. I think those folks more than anybody need proper review videos out there so that they don't have to rely on false Amazon reviews. Number three, I have a good friend whose daughter just started playing guitar, and I'm gonna give this amp to them after this video is over, because I personally am all about encouraging young and aspiring guitarists. And number four, I'm being paid to do this. As always, I'm gonna be 100% honest with you guys. I am being paid to share the Joyo DC15S with you guys here on the channel. So feel free to take everything that I have to say with a massive grain of salt. You're more than fair to do so, but I'm gonna give you guys my honest thoughts and opinions on this amplifier, as I always do. And to be upfront with you, this thing has some awesome features, but it also has some shortcomings, and we're gonna dive into all of that stuff right now. So that intro clip that you guys heard, guys, I am playing my Harley Benton Strat. I don't remember what the model is, but it has very hot active pickups, and I was actually boosting the amplifier with a Joyo vintage overdrive, which is like a TS-808 style overdrive pedal. And for a little like all-inclusive practice amp here, I actually thought that the tones that we were getting were really good. But, and this is the big but, and although I enjoy big butts, this is not one of them. This amplifier, in my personal opinion, does not have enough gain on the higher gain settings to really like get good high gain tones just going straight into the amplifier. I think that there are a lot of decent tones in this amplifier, but if you're trying to plug it straight into the amp and get really saturated sounding high gain tones, you just can't. So the reason that I was using this active pickup guitar is because this has a lot more output, which basically enables you to get a lot more gain out of the amplifier. And also I was boosting it with an overdrive, because if we don't boost it with an overdrive, we really can't get those truly high gain saturated sounds. And just to show you that, turning the overdrive off, here's the guitar straight into the amplifier, and we are on the rhythm setting, which is one of the higher gain settings on this amplifier. All right, so it gets close, but not quite all the way there. Let's check out the metal setting on this amplifier. Now, it definitely chugs, it definitely gets into high gain territory, but it's more of like an 80s high gain territory where it's not super saturated like more modern amplifiers are. So if that's your thing, this amp is gonna do it all day long. And as you heard on the metal setting, we got some really nice chugs going out of the amplifier. Let's check out finally the lead setting, which is the other high gain setting, or one of the other high gain settings on this amp. And keep in mind, on all these high gain settings that I'm showing you, the gain is absolutely maxed out. So it chugs, it gets a decent metal tone all day long, but it's just a little bit on the dry side as far as the saturation goes. Just to prove that point even further, one step further, I'm gonna grab a beginner style guitar that has a lower output pickup so you guys can see how low gain the amp really is on the higher gain settings. All right, guys, so I have my Mitchell something or other guitar. This is a guitar that costs like 250 bucks. You can buy this at Guitar Center, and it is also aimed at beginners. The pickups in this guitar are definitely passive. They're definitely passive, of course they are. But they're also definitely much lower output. Now again, that's on the lead channel with the gain maxed out. So if you're like most of the people who watch my channel and you're buying this amplifier for the high gain tones, just know you're gonna have to boost the amplifier to get the truly high gain tones, which is kind of a bummer because one of the main selling points of this amplifier is that it is battery powered. It's dowry powered. So if you do want to use this amp for the portability of it, obviously you're not gonna be plugging in an external overdrive into it as well, unless you have a battery powered pedal board, which is also a thing, but probably very impractical for you if you're buying this amplifier. So with that out of the way, I truly think that those are really the only negative aspects about this amplifier, because as far as everything else goes on this amp, this thing offers you an absolutely insane amount of features for the price. It is built incredibly well, and honestly, most of the tones that you can get out of this thing, if you tweak a little bit, you can get what you're looking for. You can get really nice cleans, you can get really nice crunch tones, and you can get really good lead tones. And on top of that, I'm not usually a features guy, but if you're a newer player, you're gonna be looking at the features and seeing what all you get for your money with this amplifier. Apart from the build quality, this thing is just loaded with effects, it's loaded with recording capabilities, it has Bluetooth functionality. Actually, I'll show you the Bluetooth functionality right now. We're gonna turn the Bluetooth on the amplifier on. I have my iPad hooked up to the Joyo DC15S, and I have my iPad playing music through the Joyo DC15S. And this is my band Subdue. You should check us out on Spotify. There is also a line in if you want to plug something in directly via an 1/8 inch input. There is a headphone out, which I'm sure every parent out there is going to be extremely happy to have, because there is nothing better in this world than listening to a 12-year-old learning guitar with the amp on full blast playing this. So we've got the headphone functionality. Something that I find really cool about this amplifier is it actually has a couple of different methods of sending your signal out of the amplifier other than the speakers for recording capabilities. So this actually has a 1/4 inch line out, which I will have active right now. I've actually got it plugged into my interface here. So first the mic and then the line out so you guys can hear the difference. So you can legitimately send the signal out of here into your recording interface. You can send it out into a PA. So if you're actually out playing a little gig, you're playing your first gig with this amplifier, you can literally send a line out directly into the PA and they can put that baby on 11 and you can destroy your entire audience's hearing for the rest of their lives, even though you've only got 15 watts. So that's a really nice feature. On top of that, there's also an 1/8 inch out on this amplifier in order for you to send the signal out to your iPhone, your iPad, your Android device. I'm not gonna explore that in this video, but it does have the functionality to do that, and I think that that's actually really cool. You're not gonna find that in a lot of devices like this. And one final thing about the amplifier that I wanna highlight before we move on to the actual controls and everything on the amp and some more sound samples is that this amplifier is all analog in its control, meaning that you don't have to have an app, you don't have to download an app on your iPhone or on your iPad or on your computer in order to actually be able to control this thing, which is becoming more and more rare these days. All of your controls are at your fingertips right here on the amplifier itself, and I gotta be honest, that's a breath of fresh air because this is just so much easier for somebody getting into guitar to be able to figure out than having to download an app and then go in and try to figure out how to work the app on top of figuring out how to work the amp on top of playing. So that's a really nice touch, and that's something that I like to see because I'm an analog man, if I do say so myself. It's also why nobody likes me. So as far as the controls and the features on this amp go, when it comes to dialing in your tones, we've got gain, we've got tone, we've got volume. Those are all pretty self-explanatory. Your tone is your only EQ control on this amplifier. You turn it up, everything gets brighter. You turn it down, everything gets darker. Again, this is a 15-watt amplifier. For a 15-watt amp, it seems a little bit on the quiet side, honestly, but I don't think anybody is buying this amp in order to try and play live gigs with it and not have it powered by a PA or something like that. This is genuinely a practice amp, and it will do practice volumes absolutely fine. Over here, we have our amp models that are on a rotary dial. So we've got acoustic, we've got clean, JC clean, drive, blues, crunch, lead, rhythm, and metal. And you guys already heard those higher gain things. It basically goes from clean all the way to high gain as you rotate the dial clockwise. Moving down here to the effects, we've got an effects control here that gives us chorus, it gives us flanger, it gives us phaser and tremolo, and then we have our space effects, which are delay and reverb. And then over here, we've actually got our little drum machine set up, so we can adjust the volume of our drums, but all we gotta do is press this bad boy. We got our own little band going on. And on top of that, our drum machine, we also have a looper, which is controlled by a foot switch. So if we want to loop, that was so bad. Double press to erase it. Yeah, I'm not the guy to see about a looper, not something I ever use, but yeah, all the looper functionality is connected to the foot switch. You can either control it on the amp itself or on the foot switch. It comes with a nice metal 2-button foot switch here, which I actually think is a really nice touch. It allows you to switch between presets. So if you want to set up a clean and a crunch or a crunch and a lead, you can do that. Set them up to the presets and switch between them on top of the looper. So again, we just have so many features going on here, and all of the sound is coming out of this specially designed front speaker setup here, which contains a woofer, Looks like it's got a tweeter and a horn, so you're kind of getting a full range guitar sound out of this thing. And yeah, as far as features go, I think that this thing is absolutely jam-packed full of features. And the tones, like I said, there's some good stuff in here. You guys heard the high gain stuff already. Let's go ahead, let's check out the clean. I know that's blasphemy for my channel. We are a no leads, no cleans type of family here at Belligerent Studios, but because we're trying to help the beginner players out, we're gonna check out just a little bit. So that is our JC clean, and that is with the split coil sound on our Mitchell guitar. It actually sounds really, really nice. Here's the regular clean. Honestly, those are two really, really good clean sounds, and if we want, we can add a little bit of chorus. It's a really, really thick, really lush chorus. Let's get into the delay. Delay and chorus on. We're getting wild here. With a tone like that, I could literally go out and start my own American football style band. I just need to get a lot more skill and a lot less testosterone. I'm enjoying playing cleans. That's weird for me. Not something I normally like to do. So let's go ahead before things get too crazy and I start to turn into a different person. Let's go over to the first drive setting. Man, the tones in this thing are surprisingly really good. I like that drive tone quite a bit. That was with the gain pretty much maxed out and the tone turned up higher. Let's go to the blues. Man, with the gain rolled back on the amp, that is a nice tone. Let's go into the crunch. Again, like I'm getting like a cool post-hardcore type of tone out of the crunch channel. Let's max the gain. I guess it's just a little bit drier, but not much going on there, so not a lot of sweep in the gain level there. Let's go into the lead section though. And again, that is just straight into the amplifier. Let's get some lead effects. That's pretty spacey right there. I wonder if we turn down on the control. Okay, so yeah, this kind of changes the space overall. And same with the chorus. If we turn the chorus down a little bit, the effect will be a little bit less noticeable. Okay, we are definitely getting some lead tones going on there. Let's keep that delay on. Let's go over to the phaser. So yeah, if you want to get into the crazy drenched style of effects, super 80s going on, I don't even know what I just said. Yeah, the lead channel will do those types of leads all day long. Back into rhythm, let's turn our effects off. Honestly, it's a nice high gain tone. I've seen a couple other reviewers say they didn't like the high gain tones on this amp. They thought that they were a little bit harsh. I think that that is a nice high gain tone, especially for rhythm. Again, let's kick on that Joyo Vintage Overdrive. It's really not bad at all if you're sticking an overdrive in front of it. So if you're not doing the portable amplifier thing, you want to pick up a Joyo Vintage Overdrive for 35 bucks to pump into the front of this amp. Pretty much no matter what guitar you have, you're going to get enough saturation, you're going to get enough volume to get the goods out of it. And I think that the high gain sounds on this thing are surprisingly good. That's my personal opinion. Again, finally, here's the metal setting. If you like the chunky bass chugs, this reminds me of like the Line 6 Insane setting. It's just scooped, super bassy, pretty saturated. Here it is with the Joyo Vintage Overdrive again. All right, guys, so that is going to do it for me today on the Joyo DC15S. What did you guys think about this amplifier? Let me know down below in the comments. I hope if you guys are shopping for your first amplifier or you're a new player trying to get your gear together in order to get on your journey to learning guitar and playing and sounding like your heroes, that this video was helpful for you. If it was, please let me know down below in the comments. And if you guys think that I could have done anything better in this video to help you with your purchase, put that down below in the comments as well. Who the hell is that guy? Some homeless dude just walked in. Now, if you guys want to pick up this amplifier for yourself, I'm going to put a link down below in the comments and in the description. That link is going to be for Amazon, and this amp is currently on sale for about $200. That's 200 US dollars. How that translates to other currencies, that's up to you. And no, I don't mean it's up to you to figure out. I'm gonna say that, you know, you can pay Joyo whatever you want in order to get this amplifier in your house. That's not true at all, but I'm saying it. If you did find the video helpful, hit that like button. I would really appreciate it. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed here and you wanna see more reviews like this only for big, nice, and expensive tube amps like the ones behind the Joyo DC15S, because that's typically what I do here, and I'd really appreciate it if you stuck around. If you don't stick around, I'm gonna send this homeless guy to hunt you down. But that's gonna do it for me today, guys. Thanks again to Joyo for sponsoring this video. Thank you for watching. I'm gonna get out of here. Kyle here again. We'll see you next time.
You know what this wall is missing? Another amp. There we go.